So today we have us a beautiful 09 Dodge Journey. Came to us with the complaint that the gas gauge isn't working. And I see this an awful lot because I'm in the instrument cluster repair business. So I want to show you guys the process that I use to determine whether or not it's the gauges or it's something else in the vehicle. All right, let's get you switched around here. The one way we can test this instrument cluster to see if we've got a faulty instrument cluster is just put it into test mode here. And you hold down the trip odometer while you turn the ignition switch to the... You release the instrument or the trip odometer button and it'll start sweeping gauges. If your gauges aren't sweeping, you most likely have a bad instrument cluster or a bad gauge. And then you need my services. However, this one is sweeping. Let's see if I can get you in here a little bit better. And we'll go through that test one more time where you can see the gauge roll good. Okay, so we're going to do this one more time. I got you guys very precariously placed here. We're holding the trip odometer down. Turn the key to the on position. You see the gauges sweeping. This works on the Dodges, and it also works on some Fords. Don't think it works on any GMs. It might, but that's a easy way to test your gauges initially. And the other thing you can do to test your gauges, or well, the other big indicator here is I've got an empty reading on the gas gauge, and I also have an idiot light that says I'm low on fuel. That tells me I've got two separate circuits here that are agreeing. If those are agreeing, then the signal coming into the cluster is likely the problem. Okay, one of the other methods we can use is hook up our scanner. We'll scan this thing and see what it's telling us. We've got a couple fault codes for airbags. We're not concerned about that. A couple fault codes for the central gateway. So those are communication codes. If we go into our PCM, look at our live data. Scroll down to our fuel system. Come on, where are you? I've got my fuel level sensor voltage is at 4.98 and the expected range is 0 to 5. So that's telling me that something's off. Okay, we know the tank is actually full on this car, and we know that the gauge is actually on empty. So fuel level percentage 15%, and yeah, that's about all we see. And we see the size of our tank here. The other thing we can do is look at these fault codes. So on the powertrain control module, I've got an oxygen sensor, has nothing to do with this. And I've got a P0463, fuel level sensor circuit high. So we got something wrong in the circuitry here. And unfortunately, I've looked this up. And the thing that the issue being, you have to drop the tank to do any more testing at this point to figure out if you're having an issue with the fuel pump or having an issue with the wiring from the total integrated power module to the fuel pump. And it's all the gas tank's got to come down in order to do that. It's an extensive job, and I'm going to have to check with the customer to see if they want to spend the money to drop the fuel tank to do any further testing on this. Otherwise, these tip-ems, the tip-ems are notorious in these Dodges, so it likely is a tip-em. I mean, just going by past experience and what it is that I have seen, it's probably a tip-em. They're bad. So I'll get back with our customer and find out if we're going to do a video any further on this or not. But those are your basic steps to ascertaining whether you have a gauge issue. Well, actually, the gauge itself. Everybody comes in when their gauge says something wrong, and it's the gauge. Not necessarily. So this is how we figure out whether it is actually a gauge or if it's something else in the car. That's probably the extent of this video. If this customer wants to go ahead and drop the tank and figure out exactly what's causing his fuel gauge not to work, then we'll probably do another video on it. But thought I'd let you guys know a little something about that. All right, thanks a lot. Hey, if you guys would hook me up with a little like and subscribe. Work hard on these videos, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch it. But spend a couple more seconds and hit them buttons. Appreciate you guys.